Hello everybody, it's Paul with Fruitful Trees, and today I got a great show for you. I visited Lara Farms and I spoke to the owner, Julian, about avocados. He has so many different varieties of different fruits, but avocados what I wanted to go down there and find out about, and I found so much about avocados, and I'm so glad to bring them to you today in a video. I am standing here in front of one of the many varieties of avocados. This is Oro Negro. I also have right over there a Day Avocado, and over there Rani Avocado. Rani avocados are one of the only places you can get is from Lara Farms. They're the ones that really grafted it and brought it to the public, and it is absolutely amazing. You're going to hear him talk about it today on the show. Now, I love avocados. I have about 20 varieties myself, and I don't have a big space to grow 20 varieties of avocados, so I'm trying to figure that one out. I'm doing it best I can with the space, but Lara Farms, they have a big farm, and they have 40 different varieties of avocados currently, and they've had many more in the past. So on the interview, I asked him what happened to the other ones, and he said, well, when he discovered the Rani, he top worked many of the older varieties that he didn't like. So I was curious to know which ones he liked and didn't like. So that's all in the interview and everything else. And avocados are amazing because most people only know of one avocado, the Hass avocado from Mexico or California that they get when they go to their local supermarket. Many of them, people don't even know there are many varieties of avocados out there, but there are many varieties. And if you're like me, I once had, when I was living in New York, one of those, a Florida avocado. Was really big. Looked so different than the Hass, but it tasted terrible. It was so watery. It had no flavor. So I was always on the preconception idea that Florida avocados don't taste well, or the Florida avocado, because I didn't know I thought there was one avocado from Florida and one from California. I didn't know there was so many. But now that I'm established here in Florida and I've tasted and I have many of the avocados, they're just absolutely better. I actually like some of them better than the Hass. This tree behind me, the Oro Negro, I absolutely loved. I got some of my first avocados off it this year. Absolutely delicious. And I just tasted an avocado the other day that I never tasted anything like that before. It tasted like a cream. It was just wonderful, wonderful. And I told myself I'm not going to get any more avocados, and I'm going to go and get that avocado. But check it out. Here's Julian from Lara Farms. And here's a great thing. You can taste these avocados as well because he has a service on his website where the varieties that are in season, he'll sell you a box of avocados through the mail. And he knows when to pick them. He knows what variety they are, and he'll label and he'll tell you what exactly avocados you're getting in what season, and you can get them and taste all of these. It's absolutely, if I didn't live in Florida, I would definitely take advantage of this wonderful service that he's making available to people. I'm going to put a link below this video. Click on that link and you could go to his website and you can see what fruits, not only avocados, he has all fruits available during seasons. So during the season for that particular fruit or variety. And avocados are in season 10 to 11 months out of the year. So you can always have avocados in the mail. So check out the link below the video and order some of those different varieties of avocados. And then after you've gotten them and tasted them, put in the links in the links below this video, or the comments below this video, what varieties you tasted and what you thought of them. So finally, here goes the interview, and check it out. Hello everybody, here we are again at Lara Farms. This is Julian, and he's going to show us all his trees today, or a lot of his trees. He has so many. How much land do you have here, and how many trees would you say you have?
Well, let's say I got 5 acres here. The entrance property is about another 5 acres. And here in this little patch, we got my avocado collection, which has about 40 different varieties. We bought this piece of land back in 2000, well actually 99, and there was a ficus grove. And we leveled everything, gave the land a rough grade, and installed the dripper system, and then dug the holes, actually with an auger, nice and deep, to get good filtration of water, get good drainage. And then we opened the hole a little bit more to plant the tree, and it worked out great. And they love fresh water as long as it's fresh. And I went to all over the place to get budwood, and got about 40 of like top-notch avocado varieties. And if you can walk around, I'll show you.
Tell us, how does it work with the water? No, mangoes can get away with not having too much water, but jackfruits need a good amount of water consistently.
Right.
How is it with avocados? Does it depend on your location? Or?
Avocados live off of very little water, just like mango. Um, you as long as you have good drainage, that's the most important thing. If the water gets stuck, then it can lead to root rot because they don't like to drink old water. They like to drink fresh water, just like we do. So the best thing to do is, use the same dirt you dig out, dig a hole, nice and deep, so it can filter past the root system. And then fill the hole back in with the same rock, dirt, sand, whatever it is you have in your backyard, back in the hole. And if it's really hard in there, just dig it really deep so that the water can filter past the root system. And I think that's the most important, best advice I can give anybody. And then water as needed. And what does that mean? Stick your finger in the dirt, see if it's moist. If it's moist, then it doesn't need it. If it's dry, you stick a little bit deeper, and you say, "Hey, this is pretty dry. Let me give it some water." Now, what I do is I buy a moisture meter and I just stick it in there, and it tells me from 0 to 10, dry or wet. And if it goes down to 2 or 3, 10's the wettest, and it goes down to 2 or 3, I'm gonna water it. And when I water it, depending on what it is, I water it with some soluble fertilizer. It's something as easy as Miracle-Gro.
Okay. And so how often do you fertilize the avocado trees that are in the ground?
I really don't. I haven't fertilized them in years. In the beginning, just to get them out of the juvenile stage, it's good to fertilize them. So get them to grow fast and to get out of that stage as quickly as possible. That's the most susceptible stage, for it to die. It can get disease, root disease, and then get fungus. The best fungicide that I recommend for your audience is Abound. Abound. That's you can get it on Amazon, and you just get an ounce per gallon of water, and then drench the roots once a month. You do that the first year, maybe the first couple of years after you plant your tree, have zero problems, and you'll get great results.
So from an avocado tree that's, let's say, 3 to 7 gallons, you put it in the ground. If you're watering it the right way, how long before somebody could expect to see some avocados?
Fast, if it's grafted. You're talking about the fastest way allowed by Mother Nature is a grafted tree. 1 or 2 years. I mean, I've sold 3-gallon mango trees with mangoes on it.
Wow.
It's stressful for the tree, but the people love seeing that. So, but it's quick. Remember, it's a piece of an old tree that's growing, from the rootstock, way down low.
So 40 varieties of avocados. He seeked out the best, and so he's going to show us about some of now different. And everybody remember, there's different seasons for avocado, and if you do it correctly, at least 10 months out of the year you can have avocados.
Yeah,
right?
and I have some really late varieties, like Brooks Late, which is like a semi-dwarf, and another one called Ronnie, which is a new one I acquired. It took me 20 years to acquire this avocado because the original owner didn't want to spread it out because he was making money off of it. It's a late avocado. It will make fruit in March, sometimes April, and that's a zero season for that in South Florida. So now with Dominican Republic and Mexico producing avocados year round and shipping it over here at super low prices, that business went down the drain for him. So he was like, "Hey, you remember that avocado you were begging me for? You want it now? Yeah, you can have it."
Well, so is the Ronnie, is it a dwarf tree or is it a bigger tree?
No, it's a big tree. It can grow to a big tree in 10 years.
When we say dwarf, it will still grow big. It just means it grows much slower, correct?
I have one that's 20 years old, a Brooks Late, which I consider a dwarf. That's 20 years old, and it's probably no higher than 10 feet.
Wow, amazing. All right, show us some of your great avocados here. And how far apart do you plant yours?
Okay, well, it's a little tricky because I'm limited on space. So from here to across is from here to here. I think that's looks like 20 feet, and then from here to there is 15 feet.
Okay.
Across rows is 15 feet, and I put them in the middle so they have so they're not side by side, so they have some nice space. This one got hit by lightning, by the way.
Okay.
And this is my Brooks Lake.
Wow.
It's a small avocado, and it holds the avocado until February, March. And this is a 20-year-old tree, and as you can see, I don't think it's higher than 10 feet tall.
This is the Brooks Late avocado. So what's the season on this?
March, February, March.
February and March.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can probably pick them earlier.
Speaking of picking them, how do you tell when they're ready?
Yeah, I guess the size of the fruit. I think that's a good size to pick it. You can pick them as early as January, and they'll still taste fine. But the longer you keep it on the tree, the nicer that walnut flavor
Okay.
Gets you.
That's a Brooks late, and you did say for somebody who has a small yard like me, certain varieties will do better in containers than other varieties. Right?
No, I think just about any variety would do fine in a container. You know, they'll grow. Let's say you have an avocado that grows really tall, just by instinct. When it gets to a certain height you're not comfortable with, you just cut it in half, and then it sprouts, and it grows more short and wide, and it's always going to want to go back to its original form to be tall and strong. We just keep on cutting it back.
Now, when I spoke to somebody else about keeping mango trees shorter, they said on dwarf varieties that's fine, but if there are varieties that are vigorous growers and want to be big and you cut them short, eventually it's going to hurt their production. Is that true for avocados as well? Or not
Well, that'll be
necessarily?
true with everything, because if you cut everything, boom, on one shot, everything gets cut. You're not going to get any fruit for years. So what I do is I cut the most vertical branch, the one thick problematic vertical branch that's going straight up, and I leave all the laterals. So what happens is that vertical branch, yes, it makes you a lot of fruit. You cut it, get rid of it, cut it down to whatever height you're comfortable with. And then the rest of them, the laterals, are going to continue to flower and make fruit for you while the other one continues to sprout and grow. So you never cut everything off. You just cut the most problematic vertical branch, cut it, and then the rest will give you something along the way.
Well, what if there are several vertical ones?
Then if there's problematic vertical branches that are maybe multiple 2 or 3, you gotta cut 2 or 3 on that. Okay. Or you can cut 2 and leave 1, or cut 1 and leave 2, whatever you want. If then the following year you cut the other one that's problematic. That's kind of like what I do with these 40-year-old mamey trees that we have here. My dad planted 40 years ago. They're 40 years old, and if I cut all of them, then I'm not going to get fruit for a while. Even though I have vertical branches, so I just cut 1 and leave 2, and then that one sprouts. And then the following year, I cut another one, and then that one's already grown a little bit, and then it's less damage.
If you keep cutting the vertical ones, why wouldn't you keep getting fruit on the?
You could. That's why I'm saying you leave the laterals, and those laterals can still give you some fruit, especially if it's something like mango, and avocado too. Now mamey, you got to have some really strong vertical branches.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's Brooks late, as opposed to, is there a Brooks not late?
No.
Okay.
This is from Brooks Packing House.
Yes. When I first came down to Homestead many years ago, it was around there. I used to pass the Brooks, and I was like, wow, that's cool. It was the first time I saw fruit, like near fruit growing on a tree, because I grew up in the city, and now here I am with one in my hand.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
It's it's very cool to have a collection like this, because you get to remember, make sure your memory serves you correctly. There's so many out there, and you have good memories about one, and you're not sure if it was really that good, if it's going to be good again, and you just verify every year. Now this one is a Kampong.
Kampong. And what's the season on Kampong?
It's a late avocado. We're looking at January, February, maybe even March, and it can even be picked earlier. It may be even in November, and it'll still taste good. It'll be on the watery side, but the more you keep it on the tree, the less watery it is.
And when you pick an avocado off the tree, and they're all going to be hard, because they don't necessarily ripen on the tree, correct?
Well, they could ripen on the tree if you leave it there, and it's just it's anything can happen.
Yeah, but you have to have an idea when it's too early to pick. It won't be good, right?
Right. I mean, if you look online, you'll see what size, how many inches they have to be in order to pick them, because the dates on when you should pick them get shifted because of the climate. This year, avocados came a little bit earlier, and mangoes lasted a little bit longer than usual. There's always little shifts in between years. So they figured out, look, as long as it's 4 inches wide, you can pick it. Doesn't matter what month it is or what week it is.
And look at the difference between these avocados, and this one's not necessarily unripe. They're just different varieties, so there's a big difference in them. What's the seed ratio on this one? Because it's a small one.
Yeah, probably about this big.
Okay. But sometimes the bigger ones have bigger seeds and there's not as much flesh. So don't be deceived to think just because it's big you're gonna get more.
Right. I wish I had a knife on me so we can cut it open.
Yeah.
But it's the seed on this one is probably about this big.
Okay. And all these taste a little bit different as well. So
let's see what else we got here. Here's another avocado. This one's called tonnage.
Tonnage.
Yeah. Makes a ton of fruit.
How does it?
Yeah.
Now, did you name
Great.
these, or they were just named prior when you got them?
Yeah, this is an avocado that's been around for like decades, grown commercially, have great flavor, they produce a lot, manageable size. Not,
Now it
try
doesn't.
that out.
Now it doesn't pay if you're gonna have avocado varieties. You want to try to spread the season. So if you only have room for 3 trees, you wouldn't want 3 that are fruiting now. You'd want to have different seasons. Now let me ask you about this tree. It doesn't look pretty, and none of the avocado trees generally look great wherever you go. Is that just the look of an avocado tree, or is it something?
Yeah, they're very leggy. Avocados can be very leggy, and they get this white algae. A lot of mostly everything gets that algae. It's harmless, but they get plenty of water, and they only get water. I don't fertilize these, and they still give me a ton of fruit. And after they finish fruiting, they're like gone through a beating. It's like being pregnant and holding like 100 kids in your belly. And they flower after they drop the fruit. They start to flower because right now this is flowering season. They haven't started flowering yet, but some of them have already started. But they dress up again with brand new leaves, and they shed all the old leaves. So all these everything we're looking at now, they're going to fall off within a month from now. And then they're going to shoot with new flowers and new leaves and start the process all over again. So over here I want to show you something really cool, really interesting. This one right here, if you want to take a look at the label, what it says.
It says here.
It's in Spanish. Aguacate
Sin something.
sin semilla.
9:30. What does that mean?
9:30 is the date. Sin semilla means seedless.
Oh wow! Wow. Is this just a wild one that turned up, or is it something you grafted?
You know what? I've seen. I posted a video. It was brought to me. Someone brought me the fruit. It looked like a pawpaw, like this. It was slender, very weird shaped avocado. Okay, brought it to me. I let it ripen, and decided to make a video. And I posted it on my Facebook. So if you scroll down, you'll find it. It's on there. I let it ripen. I cut it open, ate a slice, and it was just absolutely delicious. Excellent flavor, nothing wrong with it, and absolutely no seed. It's unbelievable. You can just peel like a banana, and an easy peel too. It just peels back super easily, not like some other avocados that are very difficult to peel. But this one's peeled back very easy, and absolutely no seed. I cut it in half. I showed it to the camera. You gotta check out that video. So the person who brought it to me, the old friend of mine, he found it on Chrome Avenue, not too far away from here, at another nursery. But they had a big old tree of this. Okay, and I'm like, oh well, please bring me budwood. Next time you go there, bring me budwood. He brought the budwood. I grafted it, on an avocado tree that I was gonna top work anyways. Sometimes I get bored of avocados and I cut it down and I put a new one on there. So this one was ready to go, so I just top worked it with 3 pieces of budwood. I got 1, 2, and the third one here. So this right here is going to be seedless, And then over here, when these guys get a little bit better, I'm going to probably graft like 2 or 3 more on this side. You have a nice, even tree. So, but right now it's just this side. I did graft some in containers, and I'm waiting for them to get a little bit bigger in order to post them on my website, and everybody will have it. But I've seen this avocado before. I've seen this avocado before on posters, like 20, 30 years ago. I don't remember.
But what's the name of it?
I don't know. The tree, later on, a few months later on, my friend came back to give me an update about the tree or whatever. He goes, oh no, they cut down the tree.
Wow. Wow.
They cut down the tree, they got rid of it. I'm like, whew, I'm
So
lucky.
how long before? So with these grafts right here, how long ago did you do these grafts?
Oh, the date's right here. 9/30/21.
Okay, so you're looking like 4 months ago or so. So you've been involved in this growing avocados for many, many years, and you're still learning and finding, discovering new things, and
Correct.
still changing and top working and looking for better.
I'm always looking for better. I mean, I used to have 50 different varieties, and when I was able to get the Ronnie from my friend that was the super late season, I decided to cut down like 10 varieties that I was like bored of, and you know, so I top worked almost 10 Ronnies on the existing trees that I had. So I have less, but I'm happy with having a lot of Ronnie because it's a late season and the flavor is just excellent, off the charts excellent. It could rival Simmons, and Simmons has been my favorite avocado for 30 years.
So I'm interested about the ones you got rid of. Like, so if somebody only has a select room,
It's probably avocados probably no one's ever heard of before.
okay, nothing too popular. Okay.
Yeah, like San Miguel, Yan. No one's heard of that. Winter Mexican. It really doesn't ripen evenly for me down here in South Florida. Marcus Pumpkin. Some people like it. You know, to me, it's a big avocado, but you know, it's not very productive.
All right, so I have it was supposed to be a Brogdon, but it was mislabeled to Winter Mexican. And so I'm going to see how it does, but if it doesn't do good, just top work it, right?
Yeah. I mean, look how drastically I cut this one back too. I mean, if you look over here, I cut this one back too. This one's yet to be grafted. So if you ever want to top work, you get an idea of the range you can cut it down to.
Hello? Yeah.
Now, what I do when I top work it, I don't really go down too low because you know the cells are older down here. So I tend to go for more of the young cells, a little bit more flexible here. So I just cut it right here, and then I cleft graft whatever variety I want right up there, and wrap it with buddy tape. And everybody knows what buddy tape is at this point. So, and let me tell you, I get almost 100% success. Now, what I have noticed is that the Guatemalan types, like Haas and other kinds like that, are not very compatible to graft onto West Indian varieties.
Sure. Now, I know on a mango, when you graft it, you wrap the top as well.
Yeah.
Same thing with an avocado?
Same thing with avocado. I usually wrap it first, wrap the budwood first, and then, you know, then cut my cleft and put it in there, and then hold the graft together with some buddy tape folded in half. And that way it's stronger, and you can stretch and it's stronger, and you can wrap it and it'll hold.
I've had some success on my mangoes with clothespins to hold it.
That works too.
Some success with that. Well, that's great. Show us a few more of these amazing avocados.
Well, I'm going to show you the Ronnie avocado. I don't know if there's any that we could pick that are low enough so you can see how they look like up there. And they're completely black right now. And these can stay on the tree well until like March and April. Now some of them will drop, but some will stay too. And they're delicious. There's some on the floor that we cut open for the seed so we can graft whatever we want on top of it. We use pretty much all of our own rootstocks here.
And you are the only one that sells Ronnie that you know of, right?
Correct. Well, you know, there'll be, I'm pretty sure in the future, once people take notice of the avocado and get to know it, I'm pretty sure it'll be really popular.
So it tastes great, and it's a late avocado. And it fruits pretty well.
Yeah, it fruits great. It makes a lot of avocados, and they're a good size. I've picked some already this time of the year, and they taste great.
Wonderful, wonderful. How tall is this tree? Taking a look at it, it could be like 20 feet tall. Do you let your trees get taller than this, or is this how you keep them?
No, I would like to cut this guy back, but it just grew so fast. This used to be a Loretta. And I top worked it, and now it's, you know, the Ronnie just took off. There's a great root system.
So when you cut this back, what will you cut it back to?
I'll cut it back in half. You know, from the tip to like right there is half. So right there. After it makes fruit, I'll probably just cut it in half.
That's the best time right after you take the fruit off?
Yeah, after you harvest your mango, harvest your avocado, that's the best time to do the pruning.
Okay, so you showed us several late avocados.
You want to see an Oro Negro?
Oro Negro. I actually
saw
have one.
I saw one here on the floor. It's a small one.
Yeah, mine was much bigger than this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, you know, sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. It just depends.
And
This
you
is a
say this
young
is
tree.
semi-dwarf.
Yeah.
Now, this, everybody, I've eaten a good amount of avocados over the years, and Reed used to be my favorite tasting one, but that's pretty much mostly California. This was the best avocado I've ever tasted. Absolutely amazing. This.
Have you tried Simmons?
I've tried Simmons.
Oh, I love Simmons.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best. This one's really good.
Yeah.
Ronnie's really good. The Tower, the Tonnage, the Brogdon's amazing. Ronnie's really good. Reed's really good. They got one called Taylor.
I have a Taylor.
You have a Taylor?
Yeah, yeah.
It looks just like a Haas. Yeah, I got a Taylor right here. Let me show you.
Yeah. All right. So that's the Oro Negro. That's a Tyler. Oh, wow. Wow, this is Tyler.
This is the tree.
Wow, that's a big old tree.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to cut this guy in half. Maybe a little bit more than half. And then behind you is a really interesting avocado. This is a Mexican type. And what's special about Mexican types is if you break the leaf up and you smell it, it has kind of like a black licorice smell to it.
Yeah, now I saw you did another video. Even though this smelled great, you said it's not the best producing avocado.
Right, like this one, this Mexican type is not a very good producer. I just have it as a novelty, so you know, it's an interesting thing. It smells just like licorice. You can make a tea with it. You can probably use it as a condiment. But
that's amazing. It really does smell like black licorice. And so this is pretty cool. So to see the trees, how big they can grow, to have kind of an idea if you're planting what you're looking forward to in the future, it's great that we got out here to check that out. Yeah. So what's so you got late avocados, and then there's
well, the early ones are Donnie. Those are gone.
Yeah.
Donnie, Simmons, and then after those come in, we got the Russell, which come in July and August, and then you have Catalina, and then Miguel, and Simmons is done. You got Miguel, and then there's what do you call it? A Choquette comes in the wintertime, and then after Choquette, you got your Ronnie's and your Brook Slate. And then you're almost in May, in April and May. So then from March, April, and then waiting a little bit more until, you know, Donnie comes into season, which is like May or June. You got probably like 1 month of
is Donnie the
a dry
earliest
season.
one?
I'm sorry?
Is Donnie the earliest one?
Yes, it's the earliest
and
one.
how does that taste?
It's good. I mean, if you leave it on the tree the proper amount of time, it tastes great. If you pick it too early, it's going to be on the watery side.
Sure.
Pretty much with all avocado.
So trees to cover all the season. If somebody's watching now, they can only plant 4 trees.
Simmons, Catalina, Choquette, and then Ronnie.
Okay.
Just break it down. Sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings, but that's
from your experience, that would be the one.
I think that would be the 4 that I would put in my backyard.
Okay, alrighty. There you go, everybody, and that's just a look at these amazing avocado trees. And I'm going to put the link below. He has all of these below on his website. You can look at them. He has different sizes. Definitely check them out. And he ships through the mail. Do you ship out of state as well?
Yeah, I ship all 50 states. Maybe not Alaska, but definitely California, Texas, Arizona, and everything in between. You go on the website. It's larafarmsmiami.com, and you pick whatever you want to buy. You go to the checkout, and you put in your address, and then the website calculates your shipping price. And I have a 70% discount for shipping with UPS, so you could take advantage of that. That's really good. So you'll be surprised on the shipping price when you add up your total on the website. The link's going to be below the video, everyone. And thank you. Thanks for showing us around your avocados. Happy to show you around. All right, everybody, that was the interview with Julian at Lara Farms, and here's my Ronnie avocado. I am so excited that I got one, and this one is in the ground, and I'm really excited. It's looking nice, and make sure you get one of these if you're going to get any avocado. This is very promising here. I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But wonderful, wonderful avocado. All right, everybody, put your comments and questions below. Remember, you can
go to his website, and you could order trees as well. He sells all different of these varieties of avocado trees, but get the avocados, get the variety box, and taste them. And okay, so real soon you'll probably end up tasting more than I've tasted, because he makes them all available. So go there and do that. And he has other fruits as well that are in season, so you could taste all these fruits. Have a great day, everybody, and keep growing.